Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jay coming back at you again. Had some really good questions and comments on the YouTube videos that I've been doing, and the latest one was what I eat in a day. Well, you got to realize something. This is what I consume based on being 175 pounds, 6 feet tall, and again, 54 years old, and I work out a particular way. So I'm not saying that everything on here would pertain to someone who's 250 pounds or say a female who's 110 pounds. But it should give you some kind of guidelines to what I consume based on the question that I received. So let's start. And again, please keep the questions and comments coming in. I love that. Alright, so yesterday I decided to write everything down, so that's what I'm alluding to right now. I started off in the morning with 6 to 8 ounces of water, like I showed you in one of my videos. And I usually put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, usually the one with the mother on the bottom, the good stuff, Bragg's or whatever it is. Not that I'm promoting them, but just good apple cider vinegar. And I'll usually throw a slice of lemon in there. I start the way off every morning. All right, this works for me. So again, I'm just kind of giving everything back to that person who asked the question. All right, so that's at about, let's say, 6:45. 7 o'clock when I started making my breakfast, and again, I'm going to go back to my notes so I hit all the spots. I had a bowl of steel-cut oats. All right, pretty generic, pretty much stays the same way every morning for the most part. I'll switch up some of the fruits and some of the nuts and berries and so forth, but as far as yesterday, this is what it was. Bowl of steel-cut oats, half a banana, 3 to 4 dates cut up. Had some raw almonds and a couple raw walnuts thrown in there. I always put a teaspoon of coconut oil in there to get some good fats. I had a teaspoon of maple syrup, a little sweetener, natural sweetener, and I did a sprinkle of cinnamon and 1 tablespoon of brown rice protein. All right, made sure I had enough liquid in there so it wasn't super dry. Didn't want to taste like mortar. So it was delicious, and again, really good for you. About 10 o'clock, had my mid-morning snack. About 2.5 hours, 3 hours later, mid-morning snack. I had an apple with natural peanut butter, and that was just something just to get me through the hump, all right, because I knew a big workout was coming on that day. About 11 o'clock, maybe an hour later after my mid-morning snack, I had a boxing workout. That consists of heavy bag work, speed bag work, and kick bag work, all right? That lasted about an hour and 20 minutes in my garage, drenched, soaking wet, so I had to make sure I replenished. Right after that, which was about 12:30 in the afternoon, I made my post-recovery shake. Now, my post-recovery shake was actually listed on my Instagram. I'm not going to get into everything that I put in the shake, but if you follow in the Instagram, you'll get a detailed description of everything that I had in the drink. Spot on for replenishing, because I did kick ass yesterday. All right. So that was my post-recovery shake about 12:30. About 2:30, I started getting a little hungry again. I like to feed myself when I get hungry. I'm not a big proponent of intermittent fasting. I know that's a big topic out there, and maybe there's validity to it. It doesn't work for me. Okay, I'm the kind of person that I believe that a car runs much better when there's fuel in the tank as opposed to being empty. That's just me. You want to research intermittent fasting and try that, that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a proponent. So by 2:30, midday snack as I call it, had a piece of Ezekiel bread, put some hummus on it, had red onions, tomatoes, and I finished it off with some jalapenos. It was delicious. Again, just a good generic snack, all plant-based, good protein source, very healthy. By 5:30, about 3 hours later, it was time for dinner, and I made a combination of lentils, which I love, great iron source, great protein source, excellent for you, fiber and all that good stuff. I had frozen baby Brussels sprouts, and I had a sweet potato. On my sweet potato, I'll either use olive oil, but yesterday I used some Earth Balance. It's just another great way of getting some really good plant sterols in your diet. Earth Balance, excellent stuff. So that was my dinner. Then it's time to fast forward a few hours later, and it's getting close to nighttime. Now, some people will really say, maybe you shouldn't eat at nighttime before laying down, all that good stuff, whether it keeps you up or your caloric intake at nighttime, you're not burning fat anymore. In my opinion, when you work out very hard during the day, your metabolism's kicking ass all day long, all night long. You need to keep it going. I'm not going to get into the whole catabolic state when you're sleeping at night. People wake up in the middle of the night to eat something to keep themselves out of that catabolic state. Calling a little BS on that, but I do like to go to bed with semi-full stomach. Not completely full, but a little full. So what I like to eat was, about 8:30 at night, I made myself a bowl of cereal. Now, I'm not talking Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Charms or anything like that, which was great when I was a kid, but as an adult, you want to feed some good stuff. So I basically eat Heritage Flakes. It's by a company called Nature's Path, which again, I'm only promoting because that's what I eat. Okay, there's no monetary items here or whatever. I'm just saying that's the brand I eat. So if you hear me say Heritage Flakes, you're like, where does that come from? The company is called Nature's Path. And I put some pumpkin seeds in there, and again, tablespoon of brown rice protein. I like to keep myself nice and level all through the night, keep myself out of a catabolic state, let's call it, until the next morning rolls around again. Now that's basically what I consumed yesterday. Now every day, does it change? Of course. Some of my staples though, as far as breakfast, they basically remain the same. It's usually a bowl of steel-cut oats. I might mix and match, whether it's bananas and dates, maybe it's blueberries and raisins. Instead of walnuts or almonds, maybe it's, I don't know, sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, just stuff like that. But everything else pretty much stays in a completely different, whether it's going to be something like a different legume, a different grain. I just mix and match every time. It might be a giant salad for lunch instead of whatever I had today. But again, you have to have variety. You can't let it become too stagnant or else you get bored. All right? Food is a great thing. You should enjoy eating. You should enjoy the prep time also, because when you work this hard, your body is like a Pac-Man. It wants nutrients. So the more nutrient-dense meals you can make, again, plant-based, the better off you're going to be. You got to keep those questions coming. I'm telling you, I will give you every answer that I have to get you to where you want to be. Hey guys, let's talk about my age for a second. So I'm 54 years old. A lot of people out there are looking for the fountain of youth, all right? Whether it's plant-based, meat eaters, all kinds of keto, whatever it's going to be. Listen, I'm strictly talking about the things that I do and the way I eat, the lifestyle that I live, all right? 100% strict vegan. I eat a plant-based diet with nothing else included in it. There are no animal sources. There's no dairy. There's no egg. There's no meat. My joints don't hurt. I have muscle mass like I did when I was 18 years old. The only thing that I'll supplement with on top of outside of my food intake is I'll take some brown rice protein or some hemp protein, especially during a recovery shake, or maybe to throw it into my oatmeal in the morning. But I know what people want. They want to feel good now. Most people out there right now, maybe 20s, 30s, listening to this stuff, you're going to eventually be 50. You're going to eventually be 60. You want to feel strong. You want to feel good. It's about longevity. Okay? I don't care when people talk about testosterone this, blah, 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 this. You want to feel good. You want to look good. All right? My joints don't hurt. I don't have a problem with running with my kids who are adults. We want to go for a 10-mile run. We go for a 10-mile run. We want to do 100 pull-ups, 100 push-up competition against each other. We do it all day long. And again, remember, I'm 54. I've been eating plant-based for 19 years strict. Strict. People always come up, where do you get your protein from? Stupidest question I've ever heard in my life, but only because you're not educated on it. You do not need meat products to have your protein intake. Am I not living proof? The bottom line is, everybody says, but you're going to be deficient in B12. Even the doctors. I will, on my mother's grave, I will tell you right now, I take a multivitamin in the morning, a generic multivitamin. It probably has a very small amount of B12 in it, okay? Every year I get my blood work done, spot on. Never deficient. I give blood every 75 days. People think when you're a vegan, you're going to have low iron. Spot on. So you tell me, if I'm not supplementing with B12, if I'm not eating any particular items outside of a plant-based diet, that everything is spot on, think about it. This is what's required to be healthy. You don't need outside sources. A supplement, I already told you, a little protein here, a little protein there, and a multivitamin. Other than that, it is a well-balanced diet of plant-based nutrition. Hydrating enough with water and trying to get yourself enough sleep at night, which is difficult these days, I get it. But if you want a healthy lifestyle, this is what you need to follow. See ya.